Love hurts. More like it hurt to watch this fucking movie. Greetings, my fancy viewers. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Love Hurts, directed by Jonathan Uspio and stars Ke Huy Quan and Ariana DeBose. The film is about Marvin. He's a happy-go-lucky realtor. Nothing can go wrong in his life. He's super happy, super lovable. He can't help but just smile every time you see him. But after a mysterious message he gets, the secrets of his past start to come back to haunt him. So from the trailer, I had no hope watching this movie. I thought this was going to be absolute garbage, but I wanted to see it because of Ke Huy Quan. I absolutely love how he's making a comeback in movies. He was phenomenal in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Watching his Oscar speech just gives me like tears in my eyes. It's so beautiful. You can tell he's just a happy person. He loves his life. And I hate the fact that the next film that he's in is Love Hurts, because this film is garbage. Okay, let's start off with some positives first. So the first thing is that this is an action film that is very inspired by other films like John Wick, and I can say that the action is very well done here, for the most part. Some of the action sequences are kind of poorly edited here and there, but when it comes to the choreography, they're very spot on. Mainly because he does all of his stunts. He's very, very good at everything that he does here. He's super energetic. The way how he just moves around and does all of this kung fu action, it's very, very cool to look at, and it's very entertaining to watch when it comes to all the action sequences. But there comes a point in the film where all the action sequences don't really match the tone of this film, and I'll get to that later on, but just know that the action sequences are good. They're not phenomenal, they're not spectacular by any means, but for what this film is, they're very fine. They're very entertaining, and if you're coming in to see just action stuff, you might have a good time watching this. And that's pretty much all the positives I can give, because this film, oh boy, let's get into it. So my first huge complaint about this film is the chemistry between Marvin and Rose. Rose is played by Ariana DeBose, by the way. Their chemistry has just nothing. So back then, they were an old flame, these two. They worked together, they took people down, they worked for Marvin's brother, but then they had to escape because Marvin became a huge criminal and everything. But then Rose comes back into Marvin's life and is like, hey, I need the old Marv back. I need the guy that used to kill people and beat people up. And then Marvin's like, no, I'm Realtor of the Year now. Like, I love my job. I love my life. I don't need to go back to killing people. But Rose is like, quit being such a baby. Come on, I need the old Marv back. I need the Marv that used to just kill people, for his brother. And Marv's like, please leave me alone. Like, I don't want this. Like, I helped you escape my brother. Now leave me alone. Like, we're done here. So through the entire film, Rose is just belittling Marvin because he doesn't want to kill people. And Marvin's just like, please leave me alone. Like, how is that a healthy chemistry between these two? That's toxic. What the fuck? But eventually Marvin does end up becoming his old self by beating up his brother's goons and taking down his brother and everything, protecting Rose. Throughout the entire film, I was like, Marvin, no, go to the police. Just stay away from this. Like, this is not the life you want to live. This isn't healthy. Why are you going back to killing people because of an old ex-girlfriend? Why? The relationship dynamic between these two is so fucking stupid. Like, imagine if you got a call from your ex-girlfriend and was like, hey, I need you to kill people for me. I need the old you back. Come on, don't be a baby. Do this for me. Would you do that? I mean, some of you might, but I wouldn't. Like, what the fuck? I mean, this has to be one of the worst romances I've seen in a film in a very long time. And it doesn't help with the fact that Ariana's character, Rose, is just insufferable. She's just mean-spirited and cruel because Marvin doesn't want to go back to just beating the shit out of people. Like, that's not a good character. Like, that's horrible. This has to be one of the worst written characters for a film I've seen this year. And it doesn't help with the fact that Ariana's performance is just abysmal. Her performance is so bad. Ke Huy Quan, his performance is passable for this kind of film. It's nothing spectacular. You can tell that he's having at least fun while doing this performance. But Ariana DeBose, like, I hate to say this, her performance reminded me a lot of Jared Leto's Joker. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, there are points where her character just purrs and goes, meow, and brrr, like, throughout the entire film. Like, it reminded me of those scenes with Jared Leto's Joker. Like, this character is so weird, and it doesn't help that her performance is just awful. Like, she'll just make random noises throughout the film, like, just like, man, ooh, and haha. She does that through the entire film. Like, what the hell is this character, and what the hell is this performance? Like, hello? Like, I'm not sure if that was a character choice, or Ariana just wanted to just do random noises to make her performance, like, a bit more kooky and, like, just wacky. Like, it just reminded me of Jared Leto's Joker. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, the character is awful, the chemistry between these two are awful, like, everything revolving around these two is just awful. It's so bad. And now let me talk about the tone of this film, because the tone is all over the place. I mean, it's supposed to be, I guess, like it's like shock humor kind of movie, I guess, because at first it's like, ooh, Marvin, he's so happy, nothing can go wrong in his life. Then it just immediately cuts, like, later to an action of him getting freaking stabbed and, like, stabbed in the hand and just beat the shit out of, flown all over the place. Like, the action in this film is so fucking bizarre. Like, there are just points where, like, Marvin, he's just flown like a rag doll all over the place. And there are parts during the action that makes no sense. Like, the second action sequence in the movie is Marvin, beating up two of his brother's goons. And he's trying to save his Realtor of the Year award diploma. And it has no explanation of why he wanted to bring that with him. I mean, later on he says, like, oh, that diploma reminds me of the man I am today. Why didn't you just leave it at the house? Why'd you have to take it with you? What the fuck is going on? And, like, the tone is just so weird, because there are points where it's like a romantic comedy, but then, like, there's a point in the film where, like, Marvin's character, goes back to his old self and just brutally stabs a dude like 30 times in the stomach. Like, what the hell? And there's another point in the film where they have, like, this running joke of this, like, rival realtor that knows kung fu and everything. Yeah, like, just bear with me here. And the guy, he sees Marvin in trouble, is like, oh, Marvin, I'll help you. I know kung fu. And he goes into the house and immediately gets his fucking face blown off with a gun. Like, what is this fucking movie, dude? I mean, the tone is just all over the place. I mean, on one hand, you want, like, a nice romantic comedy with some, fun action sequences. And on the other hand, you have people getting brutally stabbed, their faces blown off, and freaking burned to death. Like, what the fuck? And was everybody given superhuman strength in this film? Like, the action is so bizarre because, like, Marvin, he'll do, like, a little, like, boom, and a dude gets flown across a house. Like, he'll do a little kick, like a pew, and the dude gets freaking slid across the entire floor. Like, was everyone just given like super serum for this film? Like, I just have no idea what the tone is of this film is supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be like a wacky, over-the-top action film, but also a lighthearted romantic comedy. Like, it's all over the place. And there's like a subplot in between the film where, like, Marvin's assistant is trying to, like, find love, and she falls in love with one of Marvin's brother's goons. And it's just a random romantic subplot in the middle of the film that just goes absolutely nowhere. And other bizarre things is that the main villain, Marvin's brother, like, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I'm just gonna keep on calling him Marvin's brother. His main weapon for attacking is a boba tea straw. Like, he brutally impales a dude in the eye with a boba tea straw. Like, that's his main weapon of choice. What is the tone of this film? Is it a comedy? Is it an action film? Is it a dark action film? What is going on? Like, the tone of this film is just all over the place. The chemistry between the two characters are absolute garbage. The only only saving grace in this film is that there are a couple funny moments with some of Marvin Brothers' goons. Like, they have some funny moments. And there was actually one part where I did laugh out loud pretty hard. I was the only one in the theater, and there was a point where I actually just screamed out, "Holy shit," because there was one part that made me laugh so hard. But as a whole, the story is awful, the chemistry is awful, the tone is all over the place, the action sequences are so bizarre. I would say this is a film that you can watch like on Netflix one time with some buddies and make fun of it for like all the bizarre things that happen in this film. And it's not in a so bad it's good way. It's not even like an entertainingly bad film per se, because like some of it's pretty boring as well. But as a whole, this film is just not good. And it pains me to say that, because how can I get mad at Ke Huy Quan? Like, he's like a puppy. You can't get mad at a puppy. He's the only saving grace in this film. That's it. Like, oh my god. This film is just freaking bad. Which is why I will bestow upon Love Hurts the Trash Top Hat. Oh my god, what was this movie? Just to all my fancy viewers out there, thank you so much for watching. But if it's your first time here and you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe for more content. And have you seen Love Hurts? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a fantastic night, and as always, stay fancy.